Hi, it's T. Carlson here. I'm still going through the movies that I bought during the Screen Factory sale and certainly getting a lot of entertainment value out of these. Today we're going to be taking a look at a much maligned sequel from the 1980s, a sequel to a cult classic that became surprisingly popular. The movie we're looking at today is Teen Wolf 2, starring Jason Bateman. This, of course, being a sequel to the 1985 film Teen Wolf, which starred Michael J. Fox. I'm going to unbox this release and I will share my opinions. Nice close-up there of Bateman's wolf character wearing his boxing headgear. There's our spine text, back of the box. Here is our disc. Underneath the disc, we do have reversible art if you're into that sort of thing. I am glad to see Screen Factory does do this occasionally, giving you options between more contemporary art and, of course, the classic style art. I'll read the description of the movie as follows from the backing card. High school was easy, but college is a whole different animal. Jason Bateman stars as Todd Howard, a Hamilton University freshman with a full athletic scholarship. Only Todd has no idea why, since he's far more interested in veterinary medicine than sports. But his boxing coach, Bobby Finstock, is very familiar with the Howard family secret, and he's hoping he can use it to his advantage. When the whole school, including Todd, finds out that he's a werewolf with superhuman abilities, Todd's popularity skyrockets and he becomes the big wolf on campus. But is his fame a gift or a curse? And can he keep it from getting in the way of the true relationship he has with his best friends and girlfriend? Perhaps a little guidance from his professor, who has a secret of her own, may help Todd learn the biggest lesson of all. When any movie is popular or financially successful, sequels seem inevitable. Michael J. Fox, of course, starred in the original 1985 Teen Wolf, which largely became a cult classic, so a sequel seems like something that they'd want to do to make some more money. Unfortunately, the movie is largely a retread of the original film. It swaps out Michael J. Fox for Jason Bateman, playing the cousin of the Michael J. Fox character from the first movie. It swaps out basketball for boxing, and it swaps out high school for college. And I have to say, it really is, aside from the different setting, the different sport, largely a step-by-step retread of the original film. The movie, of course, revolves around a young man who discovers he's a werewolf and has special abilities, uses it to rise to the top of the food chain at school, but he starts alienating himself from the people who's truly close to him. And I don't think I really need to say much more. You kind of see where I'm going with this. It's literally the same movie as the first movie, but you really start to get the impression that they were running out of ideas here as well. I mean, there's even one scene where they stoop so low as to using fart jokes, so it's clear that they were tapping the bottom of the barrel when it came to trying to crank out a Teen Wolf sequel. This one actually has a little more star power than the original movie because they brought in John Astin, of course, famed for playing Gomez Addams on the old Addams Family TV series. But even he's relegated to playing essentially a goofier, more bumbling version of the antagonistic vice principal from the first movie. And we get Kim Darby playing one of our young hero's professors, but even she's criminally underused and just doesn't really get enough to do. It's just not a good sequel, which is truly sad because there are some great actors here and the production values are actually pretty decent for what this movie is. Jason Bateman is a fine actor and he does the absolute best he can in this role. His performance is actually not bad. It's one of the few things that somewhat salvages the movie. But I am going to have to say this. If you're a Teen Wolf fan, just stick with the original. I wouldn't buy the sequel unless you can find it in the budget bin. Teen Wolf 2, much like its predecessor, actually looks surprisingly good on Blu-ray disc. We do get a nice punch-up in colors and fair amount of details. Again, it's a fairly soft-looking film, but I would argue this might even look better than the first film does, maybe because of the slightly larger budget. So, if you're a fan of Teen Wolf 2, it does look pretty good here. Once again, Screen Factory did pull out all the stops and give us some nice new bonus features and interviews. So if you're a fan of the movie or you're just curious about its production, you're going to have plenty to watch that's going to keep you busy for a while. Overall, though, at large, I just can't really recommend Teen Wolf 2 as a film. It is largely a retread of the original movie, and it does everything to a lesser extent. There are a few moments of redeeming qualities here, but they're just so few and far between, and it's like, if you have the choice of watching Teen Wolf or Teen Wolf 2, why would you watch the sequel? So again, recommended, but only if you can find it in the budget bin. Maybe the next time they do a Screen Factory sale. What about you? How do you feel about Teen Wolf 2? Do you think it's a pale imitation of the original? Do you think it's perhaps an underrated classic? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.